Hi everybody, it's Bill Panoff, and I am thrilled to be here at Cruise 360 to interview Bud Darr, the President and CEO of CLIA. Hey Bud, it's great to be with you. Great to be here at Cruise 360.
Well, Bill, it's great to see you, and thanks for the invitation to talk to you.
Pleasure, pleasure. Can you share your vision for CLIA over the next 5 years, and what opportunities do you see for the cruise industry?
Sure. Well, I'll start with the second part of your question. I mean, there's enormous opportunity. If you look at the new building book, which is now 77 ships through 2036, thanks to the announcements at Sea Trade, it really represents not just optimism on behalf of those that own the ships and operate the ships, but it's optimism from the investment community and the lenders as well, that this is an industry whose best days are yet to come. I really think that the community acting as a whole will always be much, much stronger than the sum of its parts, and that includes working with other associations such as FCCA, which we will work with very closely, ASTA in the travel agency world, and those in the maritime community that I have so much experience with from my last job. I think that the new ships are becoming just more and more fascinating every new category that comes out.
Sure.
And I think the diversity of the ships, keeping in mind 2/3 of the ships are in the medium to small category. They're very interesting. They have not only guest features that have responded to the feedback that our customers have given the industry, but also have engineering systems in them that are really second to none. And they're pushing the outer envelope of how to make a ship more energy efficient, or how to make it more environmentally sound overall, or make it just operate more effectively. These are really, really exciting things happening with the hardware. I would say you're also seeing an increase in the use of private destinations, because if you think about it, you can build the destination that creates all the things your customers have said they wanted all in one place, and then it also offers you some extra operational flexibility. So that's a trend that we've seen grow. I think we're going to see more and more of it, and they're not all the same. They all reflect the characteristics of the various cruise lines.
What are the main challenges you see currently facing the cruise industry, and how are CLIA and your members working to address them?
Well, we have a very rapidly evolving regulatory environment, and that could be taxation, it could be decarbonization regulations. Staying on top of those and providing practical, useful input to policymakers so that they can be fit for purpose and accomplish their goals, but still allow us to run successful businesses that are viable and support the 1.6 million jobs worldwide that we provide. All of these things, I think, are core work for what a highly functioning trade association should do, and it's exactly where I tend to take this organization.
How are the cruise lines working to reduce environmental impact and improve sustainability, and what examples stand out in this regard?
The cruise industry have always been leaders in development of environmental technology and being willing to take some risks and put new systems on board that others hadn't tried out yet. I'll give you a couple of examples, and one is advanced wastewater treatment systems. I have no doubt that in the relatively near future, gray water, which is wastewater on board that's not sewage, will be regulated. It's not generally regulated right now. We already know how to treat it because of our experience with advanced wastewater treatment systems. We already know how to treat sewage to a higher degree than most municipalities around the world. We are leaders there. We can share that with the other 60,000 ships that are out there, not just our 400 or so that are cruise ships, and help with that. Also, solid waste management, as mundane as that sounds, anybody who's ever visited a garbage room on a ship is just amazed at the operation that goes on, and recycling practices as we manage that solid waste are second to none worldwide. And these are things, not as heavy on the technology side, but equally important for protecting the environment. And then lastly, decarbonization, which I don't say it last just because I think it's least important, because it's extremely important for a variety of reasons. We are real leaders there, both in terms of energy efficiency, because the cleanest ton of fuel you emit is the one that you never have to burn. So you don't convert it to the emissions in the first place if you are more energy efficient, and each generation of ship tends to be about 20% more energy efficient than the one it replaced. And our members are experimenting with all sorts of alternative fuel choices and building ships today and spending extensive amounts of money today to be ready for fuels that don't exist in the marketplace just yet.
Wow. What insights have you gathered from the travel advisor community regarding the current state of cruising?
And millennials and Gen Xers are really the ones who seem to be the most enthusiastic about cruising, which we would have had trouble predicting maybe 10 years ago, but that's where we are. And that's a sign of not only a healthy industry, but one that has the potential to continue to grow and grow sustainably.
How does CLIA support travel advisors and help them sell this valuable product?
Well, we work with them in a variety of ways. One is we provide accreditation, we provide certification and training that goes with that. We provide familiarization for them, which includes direct contact with the cruise lines so that they understand the product they're trying to sell. Because let's face it, you know, if cruise line tickets are sold 72% by travel advisors today, if you think about that and how the rest of that business has suffered somewhat in trying to maintain their market share, it's still a very, very viable business for them. So again, an example of how if we work together, we can succeed together. And I think the cruise lines and the travel advisors really have the opportunity to continue that growth and the success of their respective businesses.
What are you the most excited about for the travel advisors in the upcoming year, and how can they capitalize on emerging trends in cruising?
Well, I think in the coming year, I'd say look for the next new ship. They're going to be amazing, but look at the revitalizations that are also happening. And we may be in for some times of some economic uncertainty, but we should recall that history has shown us that at least to date, when there is a downturn in the economy, cruise compares very favorably to the other vacation options that are out there. It is great value. It's a great product. It's an interesting product with a lot of diverse options. A travel advisor is essential to helping make the right match between the traveler and the cruise line.
Wow. With the robust order book of new ships set to debut in the next 5 years, what are you the most excited about regarding innovation and design?
Well, myself, you know, I started as an engineer. I can't help with the stuff that the guests don't see. But really, if you look at where we've come over the years, you know, the existence of not only indoor promenades, but now outdoor promenades. And, you know, it started with atriums and we thought that was a big deal. But opening up those spaces really gives a very different feel to it. On the smaller ships, the ability to operate in much smaller ports and do so in a very sustainable way. Very exciting, I think, in a way that allows people to enjoy the nature and the pristine scenery. And then the luxury features are amazing too. I mean, just really every new generation of ships seems to be a step forward. I don't see them ever taking a step backwards right now. And that's the reason why I think the shipbuilders have a real future in maintaining their stronghold there and their relationship with us, as long as they keep the partnership up.
From a consumer's perspective, what is the most exciting development in shipbuilding today that will enhance the cruise experience overall?
Well, I would say with the shipbuilding, it's creative use of the public spaces, because as we've seen more versatile public spaces, it allows for more usage of the interior volume for accommodations, or also more effective public spaces other than the one that maybe is going to be used for multiple purposes. So for example, a place that's a theater in the daytime might be a nightclub in the evening, and maybe you know, a space where classes are taught in aerobics the next day. So I think more and more of that is going to enhance the guest experience.
Can you share some positive stories that illustrate the benefits of cruising for the communities and for the travelers?
Sure. I'll give you an example. Our research shows that it's about $96 per day that a traveler that goes ashore from a cruise ship will spend in the local community on a variety of things. Goes to different places. It's even bigger at the turnaround ports, almost 3 times the size. But if you look specifically at Dubrovnik, for example, which, you know, Dubrovnik, particularly when cruise season was at high season, was really struggling with managing their tourism flows. But we were able to work with the locality. We had a mayor who really did want to solve problems with this, not just be critical. And we came up with some good innovative solutions as to how to better manage the tourism flows. And if you think about it, the way a cruise ship operates and the way we control the guest flows, it is managed tourism. We have way more ability to do that than you might for some of the other tourism vectors that flow into a community. So I'd look at that as one very positive example.
What is something that people may be surprised to know about the industry today?
I think they would be surprised to know how much investment is going on, because with the 77 ships, I haven't recalculated the number, but I think it's got to be close to $70 billion in capital investment that's being made. all in these new platforms that are going to just enhance the guest experience, but also going back and retrofitting the others. I also think that the health of the industry overall, very, very strong. The indicators are there. And then lastly, but definitely not least, the amount of care that we put into being good corporate citizens is not appreciated by everybody in the same way, but that care is really there.
It's a pleasure to meet you once again and to speak to you and to be here at 360. I think there's one thing we should do after this conference is over. Take a cruise.
Absolutely.
I'm ready. My bags are packed.
You're in bed. I'm all in, Bill.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Bud. Bill Panoff, Porthole Cruise and Travel.